Hello, Adrian's fallen asleep again, so I can start recording again. Yeah, he's 4 months old yesterday. I thought I'd tell you what happened at the start of the third trimester. It's like one of the most difficult periods of my life. Yeah, well, I was expecting the surrogate to fly off to Moldova in about 2 weeks, around week 30. Then all of a sudden I got a call from the agency to say like she wasn't going to Moldova, she was going to this other country, and I had to buy a flight straight away, and I had to pay 6,000 euros to this named individual and say it was for a friend. So I went to my building society to try and make this payment, and branch staff were very reluctant to make the payment. They said they tried twice but they failed to do it. So then I went back home in the evening. I tried to make the payment over internet banking, and I thought I'd succeeded in making the payment. Then, as luck would have it, my auntie in Ireland died, and I thought I had to go. So I was away for about 3-4 days. When I came back, I found the payment had not gone through. I tried to ring up the building society, and they said they thought it was fraudulent. So I went into the building society with lots of all my evidence why I thought it wasn't fraudulent and why they were putting my child at risk. But they wouldn't do it. Wouldn't make the payment. And also, not only did they refuse to make the payment, but they actually called the police. So later on that evening, I think this was Friday, police came around my flat, and this time, the agency was sort of going spare, accusing me all sorts of stuff. And the agency said this is definitely the police said this is definitely a scam and everything. But I was still pretty sure it wasn't, because of all the evidence I had. I had a certificate from the IVF clinic, and I'm sure that was a proper IVF clinic. And I looked up this woman who I tried to pay. She was an obstetrician, and she was working at a place. It was definitely a real clinic, and the IVF clinic which I'd left the sperm deposit was definitely a real IVF clinic, because I checked them up on LinkedIn and on other websites, and I was absolutely positive they were a proper clinic. And I actually phoned up the international client coordinator at this IVF clinic, and she said, yeah, there's no chance of that certificate being fraudulent. It's just that it's in a country which Britain distrusts. They think it's a dodgy place, like a lot of these countries where surrogacy happens. So Saturday I went back to the bank branch, but wasn't doing nothing. Sunday all the banks were closed. So I did go to the police station, ask them about what this adult supervision order this policewoman had told me she wanted to put me on. Police officer said he didn't think much would come of that. On Monday I went back with all the evidence, why I thought, had a whole stack of evidence why I thought that I wasn't being scammed, why there was a child, why I thought they were putting him at risk, and why they thought they were putting the surrogate at risk. Nothing happening, nothing doing. So I tried to get my mum sort of pay $1,000 to the surrogate, so she could give it to this obstetrician who was providing her care, responsible for providing her care. She's an old woman, she'd never done it before, and she couldn't do it. So then I tried to get her to pay me the money, then I'd pay it to the surrogate, and that didn't work neither. So I ended up about 4 o'clock, screaming down the phone at bank clerk. So this is in the middle of Broad Street. So then I tried calling my uncles, and ended up wishing I hadn't. So one used to be junior director at High Street Bank, and the other used to be area manager for an insurance company. They were both certain it was a scam, and like both sort of quite conservative in their views, and one of them in particular is very assertive. I find it sort of quite difficult standing up to him. So anyway, the next day, bank said they wouldn't let the payment go through, but they'd unlock my account because I think Adrian's woken up again. So I'll have to continue this later.